Hi, what I'm trying to show you here is how I'm trying to position the two pieces of smaller black paper to the large black base paper. If you remember, I did a 1/2 inch score line on each piece, and I've got it now parallel to the 2 1/8 inch score line on the base. I am putting a light piece of tape on the bottom part of it so I can reposition, and then when I'm ready, I'll put a heavier piece of tape on it to hold it in place. Okay, so put a 2-inch circle and tape it right here in the center. Just tape it lightly. Make sure that your sides are totally down. And I will come back in just a second and show you what I have done. If you see here, I have taken my circle off that was right here, and you can see a pencil mark circle, and here's one. I'm keeping this taped. I'm going to pull this out and put my punch and cut that part out. Okay, I've now put the piece of paper, my image, on the very back, centered it by closing the circle up. Again, if you'll notice, my paper is flat on both sides, but I'll open this up just to show you what I'm talking about. There's my image. Just made sure that you could not see the white part. Put a little piece of tape behind it, and then again I closed it just to verify that this is what I'm needing, and it's flat. I will then take my piece of paper and I will center it again in the center, and I will put a piece of tape just here at the very top and a strip down here at the very bottom. You don't want to tape anywhere else because you need these pieces right here to slide back and forth. So let me stop and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, here I've taken this piece right here. If you remember, I just put a piece of light tape on there so I could center it and then move it around if I needed to. I've simply taken my tape, pulled this up, put the tape on it, pressed it back down to make it very firm. So now you've got it, and really we are finished except for adding any little doodads. I don't know if I can close this with one hand. I will try. It does better when you've got working with two hands. There we go. And then we'll be opening up. Okay, and I'll be back with the finished product in just a minute. Bye. At this point, I took this in the scale and I cut a circle just to make it, since this is a 3-inch scallop, I made this 3.18. I cut a piece of white paper first to make sure it was centered correctly. And you might have another way to cut a circle, but I cut a circle. And now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to cut a piece right here. I'm going to cut a line right here. I'll be back. Okay, I've cut this piece in half. If you see, I took off just a little tiny bit on each little spot. There's one, and here's one. Okay, and here's one. So I took off just a little nip. That way I have a little bit of the black showing here. Then I'll put this one here, and I'll glue it, and I'll be back.